Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at the 2 to 8 player game Skull King, published by Grandpa Beck Games. Let's go ahead down to the table here. I'll give you a general idea how you play the game, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so this is going to be Skull King. This is actually the second edition printing and has a new back on the cards, and it has a new rule book in here, and they streamlined the rules here and wrote them a little bit in a more clear manner than the previous edition of the game, which I really like. So they did a really good job on the rule book. Also, mermaids are part of the mix now, where they're part of the deck. They're not like a separate thing you can add. There's going to be, now I actually resorted these, but there's going to be 4 different suits, and each of the suits are going to have numbers that are going to go between 1 and 14. Now the pirate suit, which is this one here, is actually trump. These suits are just normal suits, and numerically whichever number is higher is going to win on them, with exceptions. You also get mermaids, you're going to get white flags, you're going to get pirates, and you're going to get the Skull King. Whoops. And you're going to get the Skull King, which is this guy right here. The Skull King is super trump. It beats everything except for a mermaid. A mermaid will beat the Skull King because he lures them away, but mermaids will get beaten by all pirates. And mermaids are going to be the lowest normal trump that is going to beat all other normal cards, if that makes sense. So basically this is a trump card that's going to beat the normal suits, but it can be beaten by everything else except for the Skull King, because you'll take out the Skull King. Now this is the, unless you play with the advanced rolls, with the advanced rolls each of these pirates will have a power, and I'll let you discover that on your own. The first couple games of Skull King, you should never, I don't think you should ever play with these pirates having powers. You should get used to the game first. But this pirate right here, the Tigress, can also be either a flag or a pirate. Now, the advantage of the flags are they automatically lose. So they will lose a trick. The only exception to this is if everyone plays a flag, the first flag wins. But flags lose, pirates win. Mermaid beats Skull King. So that's the thing on here. And beyond that, beyond those guys, in normal suits here, these guys are going to be your trump. Now, this is a trick-taking game, and what you're going to do, and it comes with a really nice score pad here, is what you're going to do is you're going to play 10 rounds. In ascending rounds, you're going to have more and more cards. So in the first round, you have 1 card. The second round, you have 2 cards. The third round, you have 3 cards, and so on until you get to 10 cards. And what you're going to do is you're going to shuffle up this deck. And you're going to deal that number of cards to each player. The players are going to take a look at their cards. They're going to take turns being dealers too, but you're going to take a look at your cards, and you're going to bid on how many cards that round you think you're going to win. And you're going to bid at the same time. So you're going to go yo ho ho, and you're going to throw out your hand for the number of tricks that you think you're going to win. If it's going to be more than 5, you're just going to shout the number. Normally it's not. And then you're going to take one of these here, and you can take your player card that you get and put it like that so you can remember what it is. And the scorekeeper can mark it on this board. And I will mention that the game comes with really nice player aids, and these ones have advanced rolls. These ones show the pirate's abilities, but on the other side is basically going to be how the game flows. So those are really nice. And don't worry about those yet. We'll go over in a second. But anyway, you would pick up your card, and I would have this one. And if I'm left to the dealer, I'm going to go first. I'm going to decide whether I think that I am going to win. Since I'm going to be going first, this is going to be a pirate. I'm probably going to win it. If other people play pirates, you have to be careful because the first pirate played wins the trick. So if I'm going first, I'm going to win this. So I'll say, yo ho ho, I'll point 1 out, and I'll place this down because I'm the first player to play, and I'll win the trick. Well, but wait, I didn't. Someone actually, for some unknown reason, had the Skull King and they threw it out and they won. So what it's going to end up happening is if you don't get the number that you bid, you're not going to get any points, so you get 0 points. If you get the number that you bid, you're going to take that number and times it by 20. And that's going to be your starting points. You're going to get more points out of that, but you're going to starting points. So let's say I bid my 1, I got my 1, I got 20 points. If they bid 0 and got it, they would get 20 points. Now, in addition to those points, you're going to get 20 points for each mermaid taken by a pirate. So if you take a mermaid, you're going to get 20 points with a pirate. You're going to get 30 points for each pirate taken by the Skull King, because the Skull King is going to be your super trump. And you get 40 points if you take the Skull King with the mermaid. In addition to this, I will mention that, let's say, I was a little off there. You don't get the points for any of that stuff that I just explained, but if you were off, so I said I was going to get 1, but I didn't get it, I actually get to negative 10 points. Also, to clarify, if I bid 0, I get 10 points per, I don't get 20, I get 10 points per cards that were dealt that round. So the first round I would get 10 points, last round I get 100 points if I bid 0 and got it. So those things, I'm sorry, misspoke on those, but those are the two. That is basically all how you score in the game. Now, you're going to keep going until you get to your 10th round, and the person with the highest score at the end of the game wins. Now, there's a couple additional cards that you can play with in the game. The Kraken will basically destroy the entire suit when it's put out, and will nullify it, so nothing will happen. The coins will, if you play, will create a contract with another player saying that both players will make their bids, and if they do, you get bonus points. And then you will also have the white whale. And the white whale is pretty interesting. The white whale, basically what it does is when you put it down, trumps don't matter anymore. The highest numbered card, period, will win the trick. So doesn't matter, no trumps anymore, nothing trumps anything. Whatever the highest number is wins it. Now, if the Kraken and the white whale ever meet in the same trick, the second player that played it will win. So if someone plays the Kraken and then I play the white whale after him or her, then I will win the trick, and vice versa. So that's it. These are the special cards that you don't have to put in. And again, you can play with each of the pirates having their own abilities, which are on the player aids this time, which is really, really nice. And that's going to be your advanced rules. But like I said, I would play without those for a while, get used to the game, maybe play like 6 or 7 times, because games go pretty quick in this, and then start adding those in, so you give yourself more variety in the game. That, in a nutshell, is going to be how you're going to play Skull King. Let's go head back up to the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts. So this was the revised edition of Skull King, so the second edition, basically. The biggest thing that is different in this game is the rulebook is a lot better. It's a lot cleaner. Not the old rulebook was bad. It was basically 2 pamphlets, one with the regular and one with the advanced. I really like the inclusion of basically everything right off the bat. And your advanced rules are simply going to be whether you're going to include the Kraken and the whale and the money cards, and if you're going to use the special abilities on the pirates, which we really like. Skull King is going to be one of my favorite type of trick-taking games. The trick-taking game has had many different names, but basically where you actually need to know how many tricks you're going to take, and you're betting on yourself being able to take those number of tricks, and your points will be in there. And then there's a lot more of strategy up beyond that normal game, where you're going to have to take into account all the pirate wild cards, all the Skull King, the mermaids, and then if you're playing with the advanced rules, all the powers on the different pirates and the whale and the Kraken. There's so much replayability in this game. It is insane. This is definitely one of my favorite games, and it's going to stay in my collection forever. If I can ever talk anyone into playing this game, I will always do it. I don't even know how much more of a stronger recommendation I can make of this game. If you like trick-taking games, you should definitely check out Skull King. It's, in my opinion, one of the best. Love the theme. Love the powers that you can have in the game. Love all the replayability. It's just an amazing amount of fun. And it's relatively quick to play too, which is great. And you can always not use the pirate powers and not use the whale or this kraken or the money thing, and introduce new players to the game. And I found that most of the time everyone loves it, and then you can get back into those. So there's a lot to this game. I can't highly recommend it enough. And like I said, if you love trick-taking games, you really want to check out Skull King by Grandpa Vivek Games. Thank you for watching.